in between elections. And you got to know, if you weighed in during this, you made a difference. Like, everybody who jumped in and wrote to their representatives and senators and told their buddies about this and asked businesses, why aren't you on that list?
Yeah, you can actually make a difference in this country.
Absolutely.
You really can.
And it's not just at the election hash marks.
Yeah.
Like, if people didn't hold our elected accountable, they would have been like, they just want to get this stuff passed. They're like, path of least resistance. There's some really good ass kickers out there on the Democrat and Republican side of things, for sure. But we need to lift those people up in order to get the rest of the coasters involved.
Yeah, and we need to also let people know that this is an issue going forward. Now that we know, this is an issue that can affect whether or not you get elected. You need to know that. Like, we're going to be on you. You can't do this.
Exactly. Like, we're going to be consistent, and we're going to be on your ass.
And now that this has happened and we've had some success and it worked, now people know it'll work. And so now all the Randy Newbergs and all the people that were like really enthusiastic about this, that really did their job, they're getting more support now, and it's going to build. And then we'll be much more aware of whether one of these things is trying to get snuck through in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would say the early folks, right? Like Randy, I feel like we were kicking ass at Meat Eater, Katie Hill at Outdoor Life, Andrew McKean, Outdoor Life, Travis Hall, Field and Stream. Like, those people were on it.
And you got to think, all those people have a significant following on social media,
and they have a lot to lose too, man.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yep. National Wildlife Federation, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, were talking about this way early, and then a lot of other orgs jumped in, and some early Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, they were awesome. I gotta mention them because they're farm bill oriented hook and bullet organizations. They do an amazing job, but that's largely private side of the fence. And they came out and started talking to their membership about this early. And you kind of get punched in the face. I gotta be honest. Like, we took a lot of shit on the Meat Eater side of things. Runella took a ton of shit.
How so?
Just people being like, one, they're like, Steve, aren't you a Trumper? You can't also support public lands because that's going against Trump.
But this is just people in the comments, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are those people?
Oh, way too much time.
Yeah, don't read them. You're dealing with such a small population of morons. The problem with comments is, especially negative comments, it's such a small population, and almost all of them are fucking losers.
I got sucked in, though, because I'm like, I don't know. I was so desperate to make an impact, right? At the end, I'm feeling like I've pulled every frickin' lever that I can.
Yeah.
I'm asking the experts. I'm like, could we get, and this is a screwed up piece of information. I was like, okay, I want to do a Freedom of Information Act request, sue for information for all the senators' offices, and find out how many people called on behalf of public lands and how many people called to sell them off. And I want that information to be public. Well, those offices, they don't have to give over that information, I found out.
Oh.
So, like, where the hell's the accountability on that?
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm going nuts trying to figure out what other levers I could pull. And I would just sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to find one person on the feed and just understand their side of things and see if I can pull them over to my side of things, and maybe that butterfly wing effect will do some sort of good.
You're not those people, yeah, you voted for this. Those people are just trying to win. They're just trying to, like, get you. And there are people that, for whatever reason, thought Kamala Harris would be a good president. And then there's also people that I don't even know if they're real humans. I think there's a lot of this stuff that we have to understand about social media is coordinated bot farms. And so anytime you have a hot button topic that could, maybe get a bill rejected or get a bill passed, it's not organic, the comments. There's some organic comments. Some of these people that are negative, yeah, you voted for this, they're just a real fucking loser who doesn't like people that have public profiles, doesn't like people that are successful, doesn't like people, and they just want to find some way to call you out. There's a lot of that. But then there's a lot of coordinated artificial interaction. And we've highlighted that, and we've been on that for quite a while, because we found out through this one former FBI guy that 80%, his estimation was 80% of Twitter is bots. Yeah, 80%.
People are having their whole life is talking to bots then, if that's the case.
Oh, it is the case. I know it's the case. I don't know if it's 80%, but I do know that it's an enormous number, because I don't interact, and I'm now I've since separated myself so far that I'm kind of not even on social media anymore.
Nice.
I might check it in the morning. I check Twitter in the morning to see what everybody's mad at, and then I usually feel bad after I check it. I'm like, why am I even looking at this?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, and I just get off. And when you do that, you feel better. You just feel healthier. You feel better. But when I do check, and like there's any sort of a hot button issue, I'll look at someone as saying something outrageous, then I'll click on their profile. And then I'm like, it's like a bunch of letters and a few numbers. And then I look at their profile, I'm like, oh, you're not even a real fucking person. And then you see, oh, this is like half of the people in this aren't real people. And there's no laws. Like there's no, first of all, let me be real clear. I'm against a law where it says you have to post under your name, your social security number has to be registered to this account so we know you're a real human being. The reason why I'm opposed to that is because I think whistleblowers are essential, because I think corruption is real. And I think if you hold someone accountable for everything they post, man, you're going down a dark road. You're going down a dark road where you could possibly get people fired for posts that, like England is out of control right now. Like, I don't know if you know this, but England, I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood. How many people got arrested for social media posts in England this year? We've looked this up before. I forget the number. It's in the thousands. Arrested for saying immigration's a real problem. We got to stop these grooming gangs. We got to, stop these Muslims from, illegally immigrating into England. Arrested. Go to jail. Like, for real.
That's insane.
People do time. They're doing time. Like, no bullshit, real time for saying things.
Like I could kill for a cheeseburger.
No,
like,
not
he said I killed.
Not like that.
Yeah.
Not like that. But it's mostly about policy issues. And what they're trying to do is make sure that everyone stays in line. And so they're doing this by scaring people away from being critical of the government. And the way to start it is to attack people that say anything bad about immigration, attack people that say anything bad about the government. In fact, they're just doing this in Brazil right now. They just passed this huge fucking law that you can get removed from social media for anything that's critical of the government, anything that's critical of Lula, who's the president of Brazil right now. You get removed from social media. Like, you can't be critical. Like, they don't have freedom of speech anymore. And this is the slippery road, this is a slippery slope that we were going down with the last administration, what they had done during the pandemic. It's scary stuff, man, and people have to be aware of it. And
well, I think there's a version of that, too, with what we were talking about on, like, the hard party politics people, right?
Uh-huh.
Where
Sure.
it's like the social backlash
Yes.
of being a critical thinker
Yep.
is so much that it then creates a non-thinker, or you just totally leave that zone. You don't pay attention anymore. You're not going to talk about it.
Yep. Yeah. It's you self-censor. You self-censor out of survival. You realize like, this is too dangerous. I'm not going to say anything, and that's how they get things passed. Because then you don't have any criticism, and then you don't have any You don't have any people that are opposing you. It's very scary because, again, a lot of this stuff that you're seeing that's causing people to self-censor is not real human beings.
Yeah.
It's bots.
And that's my fear, is that when you finally get that person to be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to leave this part of it behind and step out to advocate for what I believe in. And the first response they get is,
you voted for this.
fuck you, you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah.
Right?
Police make 30 arrests a day for offensive online messages.
Oh, God.
Isn't that nuts? So, officers from 37 forces made 12,183 arrests in 2023, the equivalent of about 33 per day. Marks an almost 58% rise in arrests since before the pandemic. In 2019, 7,000 detentions for online shit. So what we have in America is incredibly unique in that regard. And other countries are setting a standard, and it's a dangerous fucking standard. And we have to really make sure that that doesn't happen here. And we also have to make sure, I wish there was a way where you could identify bots. And Elon tried to find this out when he bought Twitter. So when he purchased Twitter, they told him that it was less than 5%. And he's like, well, how did you figure that out? And well, they only figured it out. It's not real. It's not a real number. But they just took a random cross-section of 100 users and found 5% of those people were clearly bots. That doesn't mean anything.
Job's done.
Yeah.
Found it, took care of it.
Well, you could also do that. You could take a random section of users that interact with very non-controversial subjects and find a small number of bots. Like, let's say you find a bird-watching group of people on Instagram or on Twitter. Like, what are the odds that those people are going to be bots? Very small, right? There's no reason. There's no benefit financially or otherwise, politically.
Big bird seed.
Yeah.
You know, coming
exactly, exactly. Like, so if you go after I use bird watchers because I see them all the time. You know, that's like the purest form of just this is what they're into.
Great group.
Yeah,
Yep.
great group of people, but there's no financial incentive to support or deny bird watching. You know, so if you go to the bird watcher group on Twitter, yeah, it's probably 5% bots because they're fucking everywhere. But I guarantee if you go to abortion, or if you go to immigration, or if you go to anything that's a hot button controversial, ICE raids, whatever it is, any
Fake meat,
anything, any hot button controversial subject, there's a shit ton of them, man. And it's kind of creepy because who is paying for it? Who's paying for it, and how come we don't have any laws to stop that from happening? Because it's not real. You're getting this artificial sense of what the general public wants because they've monetized it, and they've figured out a way to artificially inflate these numbers.
Yeah, and I think
it gives this illusion of this consensus amongst people, and they can do that, and even with like ridiculous conclusions.
And I think consensus, though, is so dangerous to any political party, right? Like what we just saw. There was an agenda, and everybody had to stand up and say something because of one frickin' person who wanted to make this happen.
Right.
And I guarantee you that what they're thinking about right now is, holy shit, how do we break up this consensus? Like, what do we need to do? We can't have bird watchers agreeing with off-road users and bow hunters.
Right.
We can't win that.
Right.
We need them to be only bird watchers, only bow hunters, only off-road users.
Well, what we need to do is be apolitical. And I think we were with this, which is beautiful. So the Democrats, the Republicans, and the people like me that are fucking politically homeless, they all came together on this and said, no, this is stupid. And all these people, oh, you voted for this. Fuck you. Nobody voted for that. Fuck you. Like, this is one guy. And if that didn't work, if we didn't have an impact, and if nobody stepped up and people like you weren't so steadfast, that would be in the history books. That Mike Lee guy would be the guy that you see, your kids see in 40, 50 years, and they read the history books. They go, oh, that guy did this?
Yeah, he'd have a proud statue inside a giant strip mall, something that used to be public land. He'd be like, why is that here?
Probably would.
It's because we gave up.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Well, it depends on who's writing the history books, right? It could be that he would be a hero. He turned it out. They generated $200 billion that did nothing. Did nothing for this. I mean, this big, beautiful bill, doesn't it raise the debt by $3 trillion?
I think that's what they came down to. It started at 4 and now it's at like 3.3 trillion. Yeah. And there's so much to it too. Like I said, this is my own personal dumpster fire.
What Trump wants is growth. He wants economic growth, and he thinks he can get it out of this, and that's the overall net benefit.
Oh, and there's some bending over backwards, right? Like that Arctic trip that we were talking about. We went up to the 1002 area on the Arctic Plain. Just
debt ceiling increased by $5 trillion.
Did that just happen, Jamie?
Just looking it up. It did pass this afternoon.
Oh,
when we started. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
$150 billion in additional border security. Well, we probably need that. $154 billion in additional defense spending. You gotta feed the demons.
The Golden Dome thing, which is not.
What's the Golden Dome?
That's
space-based Golden Dome missile defense system.
Yeah, Trump was enamored with Israel's missile defense system and wanted one, and most of the experts were like, that doesn't really work with our land mass.
Oh boy. There's also hypersonic missiles. There's a lot of shit it doesn't work with.
There's a line item in here for I think it's a few $billion for our next big birthday, America's next big birthday, which I always think of affordable housing when I think of it. Like, I bet the folks like having their own little individual parties and might think it's okay to throw that couple $100 million at an issue versus fireworks and parades. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, man, we have got to stay unified on these things.
Stay unified and avoid the comments, folks. And don't be scared. Don't be scared to speak out against something that you know is wrong.
And you jackasses, if you want something real bad, like I want public lands, public waters, public wildlife for the people real bad. When that shit talker converts and is like, yeah, public lands are sweet, I called my senator, I don't say, fuck you, shit talker. I say, thank you, dude. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, most of those shit talkers don't have good friends. The people that are actual human beings that are losers, the reason why they're losers is because they're in a bad spot, okay? And any one of us could have been that person. Any one of us could have been that person that's surrounded by bad people. They have a bad job. They got a bad relationship. They live in a bad area. There's not a whole lot of hope. Not a whole lot of happiness, and so you try to tear down everything around you.
Yeah, you put your petty shit over the top of the real shit.
Yeah, but my perspective is, look, I can't fix everybody, so I can't help you, but I don't want to interact with you. So I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, it's impossible. And I don't like it. I don't like arguing with people, so I don't want to do it. If you talk to people one-on-one, most people are pretty fucking reasonable.
Pretty amazing,
but
really.
When they're just shouting out into the void like that, guess what? You don't have to read it. You don't have to listen. Yeah. You don't have to interact. It's fucking bad for you. It's bad for your brain. Everybody that I know that's on social media all the time is super unhealthy. Every one of them.
Yeah, for good reason. Yeah. It's a trash pit.
Yeah.
It
burning trash pit.
Worked really well in this case.
Yeah.
Because it allowed that community to build fast and be reactive.
But you have to curate your community online the same way you curate your community in the real world, and this is part of not reading the comments, because the comments is the whole world, or the people that are interacting. It's not really the whole world, but again, it's just, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's not worth going in there.
And people, if you want to win, like, identify that freaking goal and think, okay, what's going to help me achieve that goal? Mm-hmm. It's not putting your petty shit above the goal.
Right.
Right?
But again,
you bury that stuff deep down inside, and you say, great, thank you. Thanks for hopping on board.
Yes.
Please tell your friends.
Yes.
We're going to get to this goal together. That's awesome.
I think that's best done on a group basis. Like, just make a post, thank you to everybody that did it, but don't interact with individuals. It's just not worth it. The people that I know that do it, they all get fucked up. Because it's just like, it just takes one comment that gets under your skin, that carries you around while you're hanging out with, you're at your kid's baseball game, and you think, that cocksucker on Twitter. You know, and there's a lot of people out there that are doing that, man. You're watching your kid hit a home run, and you're not even happy. You're mad about some fucking random dude who you don't even know if it's a real person.
No, is the truth. I told that group I was with up in the Arctic, man, I'm like, I read them because I want to understand the argument and see if that's really the argument. Like, is this really where people are coming from? Or is it just an asshole?
There's mostly just an asshole, and even their argument probably sucks, but also a lot of it's artificial. You got to think about how much money is involved in selling off this public land, and how much of an interest do people have in pushing a narrative that would say that selling this public land is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's money involved in this. Whenever there's money involved in this, you can pay for it. There's services where you can start a campaign. Like, it's not real. There's services where if you want to push a narrative, you could use their service, and they will incorporate this bot farm, and they will push it towards whatever you want to do. And it's legal. That's what's fucked. That's
so fucked.
Yeah, it's lying. It's just lying with computers. Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's still a lot of people out there on the interweb going, well, I read it on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's whole articles reading. One commenter said, no, they didn't. You know, if that's a fucking robot, what are you going to make a retraction? No, you're not. You're not. If that's AI, are you going to say something about that? Are you going to say there's a problem? No, you're not going to say, because your whole business is clickbait. And the more you have negative comments you could use to start the formulation of an article, okay, that's how you make a living. And so don't read their fucking articles either.
Oh.
This is the key. Just like, you have to just interact only with real humans.
I got in the practice of just being like, okay, what I'm about to say is going to be political, involves scary words, Democrat, Republican. It's going to make you uncomfortable. Don't believe me. Go to thefederalregister.gov. That's the source material. Read it for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you what I read in there on these pages. That's the source material. Go read it. Like, that's where the land sales are happening. That's where it's outlined. The text is there. It's the journal of the government, printed every day online. Go read it. And, for the little stuff on the podcast, I don't deal with it. It's like the Montgomery Teller said an alligator came out of...
Right.
I don't say that.
Cal's Week in Review. Yeah. Yeah. Tell everybody your podcast.
Cal's Week in Review.
Yeah.
We do news, outdoor news, and we cover legislation
It's fun.
like this.
It's a fun podcast.
The legislative desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun. You have a good time with it, though.
Man, there's some good times. There's some burnout times, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm like screaming into the void. Like, guys, this land sale's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coming hot.
Well, people listen to you, fortunately.
Oh.
It's got to feel a little good. Doesn't it feel good that people united and listened?
I am trying to make it feel really good.
But you're scared that it's going to happen again.
Because I know it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Again, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore on this show talking about this same stuff 6 years ago or whenever we decided it was, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel really, really good. Like, a lot of people came out, they threw political baggage aside, and they talked about how important this stuff is, and it's incredibly important to me. And I thank them all from the bottom of my heart, because it is so important, and one voice is just not going to do this, right?
Yeah.
So that does feel good. That does feel good. I just kind of wanted there to be a vote on this amendment so all the American people can see exactly who voted for it and exactly who voted against it.
Yeah.
And just lay it out on the table for everybody.
That would be nice. Yeah, and it'd be nice to see like what special interests were involved, like what money was pushing it in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we need a higher, and most people won't do this even if we had the ability, but we need more peeks behind the curtain, right? We need more accountability. Like, so just a great example. I'm up at the state capitol in Montana. Our legislative session just ended at the beginning of the year. And there's some knucklehead brings this judicial amendment up to join, for the state of Montana to join Utah's lawsuit to sell off 18.5 million acres of public land. And 115 people showed up to testify against the state. This is during work hours in a Montana winter. 115 people show up to testify against this. And there's some online too there, to be fair. Originally, there were 10 people signed up to testify in favor of joining the lawsuit. All 10 of those people drop off. They only give everybody 2 minutes to testify in front of committee. Everybody testifies, don't do this, bad for Montana, bad for all these other reasons. Professional people, some lobbyists, nonprofit people, but just a lot of people being like, yeah, I'm a dad and this is where I take my kids. Like, why would we do this? That committee approves it and sends it through.
Wow.
And there's no accountability. You can't say, okay, how many people called your office? How many emails did you get? None.
Right. Your representatives just decide against the will of the people.
The ones that showed up and were vocal, right? So how do it work? And and I understand why people do not trust this stuff.
Well,
right? Like, that's a hard experience to have.
It's hidden on purpose, you know? They want to be able to do what they want to do. Yeah, and there's a lot of money that gets them elected, and once they get in there, they get these phone calls from these folks, hey, I need you to do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Montana's a good example right now. All right, so John Tester, who was an awesome public lands guy, Democrat, farmer out of Big Sandy, Montana. That's the only political donation I've ever made in my life was to his campaign, because he was awesome on public lands. He lost this year, but so we have Tim Sheehy, who's our freshman senator in Montana. So he's brand new. He won John Tester's seat. And then we have Steve Daines, who's been in for a long time. He's a senior Republican, also on the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. And Republicans, and they said, not in as strong a words as I would want, that they're not for the sale of public lands. During this fight, during the House, and then during the Senate fight again, we're not going to sell public lands. Our Republican, Ryan Zinke, also, he's a representative in the House. You know, he said, that's my San Juan Hill. He's like, I'm going to die on San Juan Hill before I vote to sell off America's public lands, right? So I think for everybody else who's naysaying whether a Republican can do this or it's just the Democrats that are willing, I think we have a good example in Montana right now. And I'm not saying give up. I'm going to hold these people accountable, and I think everybody else should too, that these Republicans are willing to go to bat for public lands right now. And we're making it that, like, third rail issue, where it's like, if you want to win in the state of Montana, you better be good on public lands.
Were there any Democrats that were in favor of selling off public land?
Yeah. Yeah, one of your California folks came out early in the
They're
House.
Not mine. I abandoned those people.
You know, because
I identify as a Texan now. I converted. I transitioned.
Yes, I support you, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for seeing my truth.
But you know that it's another easy answer to the very hard question of affordable housing, right? So I think there's plenty of Democrats out there.
I think it's a bullshit answer.
Oh, it's a total bullshit answer.
I think they just want to sell the land. I don't think that any interest in turning it into public housing.
No.
Fuck off.
Fuck off is right.
Put public housing in the middle of the woods? Fuck off.
No.
It's not what you're doing.
No.
It's
Plus,
just one of those things that you say to people, so they're like, oh, it would go to the greater good.
oh my God, we've been talking about urban renewal for how long in this country, right? Like, there's a lot of places that are not going to be good for wildlife, not going to be good for the matriculation of clean water.
Yeah.
They're not producing clean air.
Yeah.
That could be great affordable housing or just housing in general for people.
Yeah.
But that's hard. It's not convenient, Joe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not convenient. That's the thing. Well, thank you for doing what you do, brother. And thank you for being such a vocal spokesperson during this time, because it was really, really impactful. Made a lot of difference. Really did.
Well, I'm going to be here for the next one, Joe.
All right. Let's hope we don't have to do this again.
I want to change my shirt.
Let's hope we don't have to do it again. But if we do, we'll do it again.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you, brother. And Cal's Week in Review, it's available everywhere. Apple, Spotify, all that jazz, right?
Yeah. Old Cal 406 on the Instagram. And if you want to do me a huge favor, I'm the North American board chair for backcountry hunters and anglers. And we put in over 150,000 comments, phone calls from real people who used our Action Alert Center during this public lands battle. And that's made a big difference, because we can go into those offices and say, hey, 2,500 people called your office today. Have you heard about public lands? So become a member. It helps us out, and we'll help you out, and we're not going to give up on this stuff.
I'm a lifetime. Love you, brother. Love you too.
Kind of dwindle a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started adding in a little bit of the white rice and the grains and more fruit, man,
Came right back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Do you know who Zach Bitter is?
Mm-mm.
Zach Bitter holds the world record for running 100 miles. He ran 100 miles in, I think it was 11 hours and 40 minutes.
Holy shit.
He's a fucking savage. And all he eats is meat.
Yeah.
His whole thing is, but when he goes to do a run, he'll take like glucose gels, and he ramps up his glucose for and his carbohydrates for performance.
Gotcha.
But he's a big proponent of carnivore diet, which is really interesting. Because, you think like carnivore, you think like big fucking, like Sean Baker's a gorilla.
Yeah.
Giant fucking dude. But that is not Zach. Zach is, he looks like a marathon runner. I mean, he's an ultra runner. And mostly eats meat.
Yeah, that's
he actually
crazy.
does a podcast with Sean Baker.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up. Because, that stuff interests me. Those long endurance athletes, being an explosive athlete and then someone that's basically relying on, I guess those guys do rely a lot on fat. And that's kind of what the carnivore diet, your main source of energy should be fat now.
Yeah.
And you're basically making the switch from glycogen, from the carbohydrates to fat. And the first couple of weeks of that, I felt like shit. I think they call it like the keto flu or something like that, where you're just like, I have like my brain's foggy. I'm just like tired. I don't have any motivation, no energy. And then when your body kind of makes that transition, I felt so much better.
I think you can move that along quicker with exogenous ketones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take ketones. There's a bunch of ketone supplements and different things you could take.
I should have done that.
Ramp
but-
up your ketones.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've done the keto diet too, but I just get bored.
Yeah. Diets suck. I hate them.
Yeah, it is. But listen, I had this woman on yesterday who escaped from North Korea, and is one of the most difficult podcasts I've ever done. It was really intense, and it was listening to her talk about starving most of her life until she escaped. Us sitting here talking about diet sucking.
We're assholes.
It's just such a privilege to like, I like eating everything.
Yeah.
Why do I have to only eat meat? If she could only eat meat, you know how happy she would have been. She would have dreams about just eating piles of eggs. Really crazy story.
Yeah, man. We're assholes for sure.
Well, it's just you know what you know. You know?
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to listen.
Oh my God, it was hard to listen to.
I bet.
It was having this conversation with her and trying to imagine that there's a place right now on the other side of the world where people are living under the thumb of a brutal dictator, and they're starving to death, literally. Like most of the men are 4'10" because they have no nutrition. They're starving, and she's so tiny. I mean, she's like literally one of the most frail women I've ever met in my life because she was starving her whole life. Like when you shake her hand, it's like you feel like her like
bones cracking.
Like she's made out of glass. Like she's so small. She's 80 pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and she's eating whatever she wants now. But this is just because of her life, starving all of her life. It's one of the craziest podcasts I've ever done.
I'm going to listen to it, yeah.
Heavy, man. Just really fucking heavy. Like they survived off like bugs. Like
really?
That was mostly what they ate. Grasshoppers is where they got their protein from.
No way.
Yeah.
And I would imagine like hunting, I mean, they probably don't have the energy to do much of anything, honestly, huh?
She was saying that little kids would catch rats that were eating dead bodies and they would eat the rats.
Oh, man.
They were just so starving that when they caught a rat, they would cook it and eat it. And then they'd get sick and die. And then rats would wind up eating them. It was horrific, man. And that's happening right now.
That's crazy.
In North Korea. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's beyond fucked.
Yeah, I feel horrible for talking about.
I gotta fucking only eat ribeyes. This sucks.
Yeah.
Do you eat any organs?
I do, and basically I keep all the livers from all the animals I kill.
What about heart?
And heart too. I really enjoy heart. Liver, it's not necessarily my favorite. I eat it because I know it's good for me.
Liver and onions is good.
Yeah,
man.
and I haven't tried that for a long time, and I probably should do that.
I wonder if onions would fuck with your diet, though.
I don't know. I mean,
only
one way to find out.
Right.
Yeah, I would
sauteed onions are so delicious, man.
Some grass-fed butter.
Yeah, I eat the liver as well. I'm a big fan of elk liver. I was reading about these Comanches that would take. I want to do this one day. They would hunt buffalo, and when they would kill a buffalo, they would cut the liver out and then eat it raw and squirt bile on it from the gallbladder. They would take the gallbladder and squirt bile on the raw liver, and that's how they would eat it. They would season it with gallbladder.
What do you know what the meaning or why they would
salty? I guess the gallbladder's salty.